Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey here, once again with another video on The Flash Season 4. So in the next few days, we will have episode 3 of The Flash Season 4 hitting our screens, which is otherwise entitled Luck Be a Lady, and we will see Barry taking on an ex-girlfriend of his from high school, I'm pretty sure it is, who is known as Becky Sharp, but also known as Hazard, a meta who creates her own good luck, but in turn leaks off some bad luck to other people. So it should be a pretty fun episode, and hopefully we get more Thinker, as he is extremely interesting in my eyes, and from what we've seen from him so far, yeah, as I said, interesting, and I'm just, excited to see what they do with the character. But in this video, we're going to be going over some stuff from episode 5 of this season of The Flash, which is otherwise entitled Girls' Night Out. This episode was probably one of the more known about episodes before this season even kicked off, due to this episode introducing a pretty big character as well as serving as a mini crossover of sorts with Arrow. So they recently released the synopsis or description for the episode, so we will go over that and then break it down and explain everything that needs to be explained regarding it. But of course, do be sure to let me know in the comment section down below what you were thinking of all of this stuff from the synopsis and what I say, as well as leaving a like on the video if you do go on to enjoy it and subscribing to the channel if you are new. Having received an ominous threat from her old boss, Amunet, Caitlin fears that her past time as Killer Frost may be back to haunt her. Felicity comes to Central City to help the girls celebrate Iris's bachelorette party, while Cisco, Joe and the guys take Barry out for a night out on the town. So the first part of this synopsis to go over is having received an ominous threat from her old boss, Amunet. Now, right at the end of the first episode for this season, we had that scene where Caitlin goes back to that bar that Cisco, came and got her from earlier on in the episode, and she wrecks that dude who was trying to mess with her. Now, he references Amunet, who is obviously the same Amunet that's mentioned here in the synopsis. But who is she? Who is Amunet? Well, Amunet, or Amunet Black, is otherwise known as Blacksmith from the comics. In the comics, she was a part of the Rogues and has the powers of mechanokinesis, which is the ability to fuse together both inorganic and organic matter. So for example, she could use various pieces of technology, car parts, mobile phones, all that stuff like that, and then form them into something that she can control to cause some chaos, or even attach it to herself, I'm pretty sure. So she could break apart something and fuse it to herself and make her stronger. I'm pretty sure she can do stuff like that. On the show, we don't know if she will be able to do that. However, they have labeled her as both Amunet Black and Blacksmith, so she could have very similar abilities, if not the same. They did release a character description though for her, which we will quickly go over right now. A steely and badass boss of an underground black market for supervillains, Amunet uses every means possible, including the long list of metahumans under her thumb, to ensure her illicit enterprise thrives. Now, back when we first covered the announcement of Amunet Black or Blacksmith for this season of The Flash, I did go over the thought that she could have very similar powers to the ones that she has in the comics and is using them to make certain weapons useless, thus causing usual customers to that type of stuff to hire the services of metas to do their dirty work that are under, Amunet's thumb. If this is the case, it leads pretty well into the next part of the synopsis, which is Caitlin fears that her past time as Killer Frost may be back to haunt her. Due to set photos from the filming of this episode, we knew that Killer Frost will be back on screen, but what we don't know is if they will be present day scenes or possibly flashbacks to events in between the end of season 3 and the beginning of this season, obviously that being season 4. And then we see what antics Caitlin or Killer Frost got up to while under the order of Amunet Black. I hope we get both, as I would like to see what Caitlin did during those times rather than them just saying or telling us what happened, because I'd rather see the badass stuff that Killer Frost did rather than Caitlin saying, oh, I did this back then and we're not going to have a look at it. It'd be very disappointing if that was the case. Amunet, who I did forget to say will be played by Katie Sackhoff, which is pretty awesome, will be in multiple episodes this season. So it would be cool, pun possibly intended there, if she was an antagonizing force for Killer Frost this season and Caitlin could be the one leading the charge on her illicit operations while Barry focuses on the Thinker and his plans. And to finish off the synopsis for episode 5 of The Flash season 4, we have Felicity comes to Central City to help the girls celebrate Iris's bachelorette party while Cisco, Joe and the guys take Barry out for a night on the town. So thanks to the poster for the crossover event for this season, that being Crisis on Earth X, we know that Barry and Iris will be getting married in that event. So it doesn't really come as too much of a surprise that in the lead up to that, we would get some pre-wedding celebrations taking place on the show. We knew a while back that Emily Bett Rickards, or Rickards, however you want to pronounce it, would be guest starring in this episode as Felicity Smoke due to an announcement they made, as she would have been seen on set, so the studio got the heads up and announced it first, rather than other people, you know, that are around the set getting the scoop, if you want to call it that. Due to this, Felicity most likely won't be in episode 5 and possibly 6 of Arrow. I say that as episode 5 and 6 of Arrow this season are the Deathstroke 2-part story arc episodes. So both of those episodes would take place most likely within a few days of each other. So if Felicity were to appear at all in those episodes, it would most likely be towards the end of episode 6 and maybe the beginning of episode 5. Like she could be like, oh, I'm going to Central City, bye, and then the Deathstroke stuff happens, but most likely end of episode 6. Vigilante is also rumored to be revealed in one of those episodes, which would be pretty damn awesome as well. I know it's weird me bringing some Arrow stuff in here, but I'm sure a lot of you guys are interested in Deathstroke and Vigilante if you have been watching Arrow, sorry. So get excited for that if you are an Arrow viewer. But thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, it'd be awesome if you could drop a like on the video to show your support for the video, obviously, and the channel as a whole. Let me know in the comments section down below, what do you think of all this? Are you looking forward to seeing Blacksmith on the show? You know, Katie Sackhoff and stuff like that? And do you think she'll have the metahuman powers, or do you think she'll just be like a, you know, like a crime lord, if you want to call it that? Do you think she won't have metahuman powers? The fact that they're going to call it Blacksmith makes me think she would have metahuman powers, and how would she get to such a powerful position if she wasn't a meta? So I think she might have some powers, maybe not the exact same ones from the comics, but similar. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. I'll catch you later, guys. Goodbye.